good evening, watchers, and welcome to another movie review today. I've just finished watching this film, Why I Want to Move Her, and this is, I don't know what year it is. So anyway, so it's a movie. It's a review of a film called Evil Ed. This film was impressive. I admit, this film was impressive. Now the film has, the film has a kind of like evil deadness about it because the animatronics, the blood, the blood in it, the humour, the kind of tongue-in-cheek humour this film has. Wow, I was impressed. I was really impressed actually, because the animatronics are fantastic. Some of the effects were fantastic. The way they did the effects. So usually when you think about it, actually practical effects last longer than visual effects, which they do, because you watch films like Jurassic Park, they still look great, and there's animatronics on that, and practical effects, and there's CGI, but not all of it's CGI. Still looks great. Anyway, let's go back to this. And its character's called. He's a technician. He's called Edward, or Eddie, whatever, or Ed. And he gets transferred from the job that he was doing before to a kind of like movie edits, where he edits films and stuff like that. So he sits there watching the film, edited it all together. Of course, of course, he starts to not enjoy it. He gets transferred by the manager. Of course, he starts to not enjoy it. Starts to, really not enjoying it. Of course, that starts to affect him later on in the film. And I mean, literally, it starts to affect him. I was like, oh, it'd be pretty. Well, wow, it's pretty nasty. I suppose in a way, it is a cross between Evil Dead and the Bride of the Reanimator, or the Reanimator. Actually, in the Bride one yet. So, but yeah, it's a really good film. I enjoyed it. Really good. Especially the beginning where you see this guy is literally going crazy. It's like he's like got all like film reel around him like that. He's like going crazy. He's looking out there, and then people trying to break in the manager and everything. So they use this blowtorch to try to get through the door. And that scene was pretty funny, because one part where this is funny. I mean, I was like, oh god. This part where they break through the door, right, and he puts a grenade in his mouth, and he tells him to put the grenade on the manager. Next minute, he blows himself up, blood everywhere, and after he says, "You're fired." I started doing it like with his, it's because he wears glasses. I see, and he goes, I think he's wearing glasses. Yeah, he wears glasses. And just I'm standing there, blood goes over my face like, and I'm like, it is like, and I'm sitting there thinking that was hilarious, It's got such a kind of Evil Dead tongue-in-cheek. So he gets blown up, and he points and he goes, I think he points, or he says you're fired, but he goes, you're fired, and the camera kind of, let's do the impression. Yeah. He goes, you're fired, kind of like, you're fired. So that was a bad impression of the manager. But anyway, he gets transferred to doing, so Edward, who plays the technician, his glasses are quite cool. They're not actually real glasses, they're just like 3D glasses. Yeah, Buddy Holly. So yeah, when he does that, he kind of says, "You're fired," like that. And that scene was funny. I was mentioning someone, and they was just watching me together, and was like, she thought it was funny. So, yeah, great. Yeah, I love the image. But yeah, what you see now is what you get. Yeah, the guy there, he turns up in it. He plays this. It's like a dream sequence, right? He's having this weird dream, right? And next minute, this guy's like sitting there, right? And he's got this creepy voice. He looks about Heath Ledger's Joker a bit like that, but a bit more creepy. And he's talking about stuff like them and stuff like, I don't know, he's just rambling on about stuff, right? Then he wakes up and stuff like that, so yeah. Then it starts to get worse. They're like hallucinations, like they're affecting the films. Literally, they're getting to him, the violent images and stuff are getting to him in the film. And there's one character, there's like another character who's like this like thing in the fridge, we can see. It looks like a gremlin. I was like, Jesus Christ. It's kind of cross between a gremlin and a critter. And it's in the fridge eating stuff like that. It's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? Because his manager comes around the house, right? There's one scene where his manager comes around the house and he starts to lose it. He starts to see things. His manager's eyes go kind of green. Because he cut a scene of a sex scene out with the certain sex scene in a movie that they did, right? The film's got some really cool violent moments. I love it's even got posters for movies like Critters and Evil Dead, and what was the other film? Prince of Darkness as well. Prince of Darkness with Donald Pleasances. I hope I don't get this wrong this time, because I was watching my other video and I said it wrong in one of my videos. I think, what the hell did I say it for? So yeah, it's like yeah, it's one part where he goes to the manager and he says he doesn't like this job. Well, then he says, no, he doesn't want the job, so he sends him to his house, to this house. So he stays at his big house, really cool house actually. But that scene was fantastic. That's it, the part where the manager like starts to go after him, but then he starts to change the manager. He starts seeing things like this devil. You remember that Legend Mover with Tom Cruise? It looks like that, but white. He kind of starts to look like this devil, right? And it's creepy as hell. The next minute, he breaks the manager. He kills the manager. And he starts chopping in pieces and then puts them in this weird box thing. I don't know what it is. It's like a kind of like box, like a wooden box. I don't know. It's got a kind of roof on it. That scene was great. The scene, that kill there. There's one part. It's like she's in this mental place and she starts in this weird woman. On this you get like a cool book, so you get all like pictures and stuff like that. Let's see if we can talk away for it. There it is. There's that freaky thing. That thing was fantastic. I mean, I was just like, wow, no CGI. It looked great too. If they remade it, they'd probably make it all serious and stuff. Oh, that scene was nasty. There's that scene where he points and says, "You're fired." That scene was funny. I need to put some red stuff on my face to make it more effective. There's that scene. That scene was great. There he is. There's that guy. He's there. It's like in his room, his creepy room, man. He's talking to him, and he's really creepy looking. There's him again. Freaker. Like I said, the effects of him. There's that chick. There's that girl there. She was especially when she becomes a vampire. Hey. Nice. Great picture. Anyway, yeah, it's this girl that works with at that place. With, it's like there's one part. It's like she's got a boyfriend, man. He keeps getting beaten up by a freaking head all the time. So like, there's one part where he goes to the house with the film reels, right? After when he kills the manager, and he sits there he makes him a cup of coffee, right? And then he starts acting really strange, and then he starts beating him up. And then he kind of like, what does he do? Throw him through the window? He kind of throws him through the window, so anyway, he somehow escapes. Anyway, he just gets out, and these guys, what the hell happens? No, that's right. Yeah, he beats someone. Then he's in this room. Then he somehow escapes from the house. And then these guys with these randomly comes with these guns trying to burgle the house. So I don't know what they're trying to. Don't know what they're doing there. But they go to the house, right? And this guy's listening to music on the. And then the other guy, the older one, or the taller one, he goes into the house and he's I don't know what the hell, he's got like a shotgun and somehow managed to freaking, turn the tables on this guy. It's fantastic. It's a great scene though. It's a really brutal, nasty scene because, of course, the guy, loses his, what happens? Loses his head? Yeah, loses his head or something. Yeah. So anyway. One part where the scene his head goes across and hits his car and then goes, it's bloody hell. It's like, and he drops into this like this water thing. So yeah, that scene was fantastic. There's another scene in this film where this old woman's like a neighbour or something. I think she's a neighbour. Yeah, she must be a neighbour, right? She's looking out the window and she transforms into this curvy woman, and he's like. Because he's seeing things, you see. I don't know if he's seeing things because of the film or what, because of that, but it must cover. And next minute she catches him looking at him, like, he's like, oh boy. And then she goes back to her older self, so it's funny. That scene was fun. It's like a hallucination that he's seeing things, so. It kind of reminds me of the scene from National Lampoon's where he's looking out the window, right, and he sees that attractive brunette on the thing, and it kind of reminds me of that scene. Of course, that wasn't really, Anyways, let's just go back to the film. But yeah, there's another part where later on in the film where his wife and his daughter turns up because he's missed a part or something, because it's the birthday or something. So she goes to the house, right, and he's acting crazy. He says he wants to do her and stuff like that. Yeah, he says the F word and stuff like that. And his daughter comes upstairs and then he starts, threatening his daughter. Like he has these scissors or something behind his back. So somehow he managed. Anyway. Somehow she managed to knock him out the window because he's got this one of those phaser things, those electric things. She goes out the window, but then he pops up again and she shoots him. That's when he gets dragged into the mental hospital. This crazy mental place. Before I say that, there's the scene with the monster in the fridge. It's like there's one part where he's sitting at the table next minute. Then he opens the fridge. Does he open it? And there's this thing that looks like a gremlin. I showed you the picture of it. It kind of looks like a gremlin, but it's not. It's just weird. It's a fantastic effect though. Fantastic. But anyway, he gets dragged into the mental hospital, right? And of course the guy. No, it's like an hospital. It's like a mental. That's just weird because it's a mental hospital. That guy turns up there too. The guy who beat up. He turns about the hospital where he is. It's kind of weird that part was. I don't understand that part. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, he goes there, but then he starts seeing things again. He sees what the girl her face goes all kind of crazy. So he knocks all them out. Someone managed to get out his restraints, right? Because they put him in one of those white jackets. You know those jackets they use. Put him in one of those mental jackets with him. So yeah, he somehow gets out, and then he goes on a rampage again on the mental place. Or is it? It's kind of a mental hospital. I still can't work out why that other guy's there, because that woman turns up there. There's like watching the film together. The way they make films, like a kind of like a test run thing. And she's there, and this other guy was there with like a friend who works there too. Anyway, she's at the hospital where her boyfriend is. And then he's watching them make out and stuff like that. So he gets all of, he somehow managed to get her into this room and he follows them. So what happened, this is crazy, this part, is he throws the guy right through, and he kind of drops down through this glass thing and he somehow survives. It's funny, so that scene was so tongue-in-cheek, it was funny. It was like a Lauren Hardy kind of thing. Someone survives, and the next minute these guys walk in with these guns, they're like police, squad or something, I don't know what they are. One of them looks a bit like, I suppose, figure from the A-Team, Hannibal Smith. less charismatic though, because Hannibal Smith would have said, "I love it when a plan comes together." But yeah, they go after the guy, and he's like, got the girl in the other room, and then there's like a big shootout, right? And they all get he kind of gets injured a bit, but not much. And then all the other guys get shot. It's like, geez, how the hell can those guys somehow manage? They're meant to be professionals. So it's a really good film though, really enjoyable. He goes after him again. He gets the shotgun and goes after Ed. And then, of course, this time he somehow, she's like laying. Actually, there's one part where the Ed stabs this thing through her, and she becomes like a vampire. Shows you in the picture there, right? She becomes like a vampire. She's quite attractive, very attractive as a vampire. But anyway, yeah, that scene was great. Next minute it's like hallucination again because he didn't stab her this time. It's like when he did it, he thought she was a vampire, then she becomes a vampire. It's weird. Then he comes in with a shotgun, and it's like he just blows his hand up, and then he blows his head off. So that's the last part of the movie, really. Bit of a spoiler there. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Fantastic. I enjoyed it. I really genuinely enjoyed this. I thought it was really well done. And I think an easy review to give. Yeah, the fact that he starts going mental because of the filming images that he starts being shown starts to affect him real badly. Because like I said at the beginning of the film, this guy went mad. He kind of went the same way when I was watching the film. It's weird because when you watch him at the beginning of the film, he didn't seem nuts. He seems normal as hell. Then his acting's brilliant. I love his acting. A lot of tongue-in-cheek punching and stuff. Where he's whacking right. It's like very Evil Dead, very Evil Dead. Right, I'm going to give it a rating out of 1 between 1 and 10. I definitely enjoyed this. I won't give it a 7. I won't give it a 1. I won't give it a 2. I won't give it a 3. I won't give it a 4. I won't give it a 5. Definitely won't give it a 6. Definitely not a 7. Not an 8. I give it a 9 out of 10 because I really genuinely enjoy this. Very a gem of a horror film, very unique the way they did it. And there's definitely Evil Dead influence on this. Evil Dead and a lot of violence, but in a kind of crazy kind of tongue-in-cheek way. So yeah, like very Evil Dead like. So yeah, really good film though. If you've never seen it, check it out. Evil Ed. 9 out of 10 for that. Yeah, really good film. It's Arrow too, so yeah. So 9 out of 10 for Evil Ed. Never seen it, check it out. It's really worth watching. That's really funny. It's funny. It's funny, but it's got a lot of great jokes in it. I love the image at the back. It's a great image. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Evil Ed. So before I go off, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. You have a nice evening. Hope you like my review. Before I go off, I've got to do it one more time. I'll do it better this time. You're fired.